to own it. Just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here. Oh, we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you.
Thank you so much for coming on my show, Sophia.
Absolutely. I would do anything
to have you on. It's been a while.
We've been talking about it for a really long time.
But you were out of town for a while, so tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so really intense last year of growth. My mother recently passed away in February, and in this last about year, she had an accident, and I had to juggle being a mom and being a professional and being a daughter, you know, and with God's grace, you know, I learned so much about how difficult healing is. You know, God gave me the ability to look at life in a whole new way and never hold on to grudges. And so in this last year, I've been between California and Florida on top of my...
And that's not fun to fly. I've done that flight many times, and it's not fun.
No. And I think during COVID, I literally the whole time was waiting for someone to be like, I'm not wearing my mask, you know? Like, I wanted one of those video moments, but I didn't get it.
No. Everyone behaved on the plane?
Everybody behaved on the plane. You know, I flew United only. That's not a plug. But but I only flew United and into Fort Lauderdale.
Was there a reason? Are they cheaper? Or was it more direct?
I think because professionally I fly United.
Oh,
so I just wanted points.
Oh, well, hey, that makes sense.
You don't want points. So,
how did you keep your job? I know that's hard because you're in a very powerful position at your job. Can you say what your job is? Or?
Yeah, I'm a strategist for a large retail corporation. So we own a lot of big name brands. And I run their global strategy. And it requires me to be online all the time, no matter what zip code I'm in. And so there were times where I was speaking to our European team or Asia Pacific team while taking care of my mom and making sure.
All the time zones.
All the different time zones. Yeah. And luckily so it was very interesting because I had a role that required me to be in-house. And during that time, COVID happened. And I ended up on the COVID relief team for the state of California with the military, because that's my second job. You know.
Yes, that's a lot.
So I was running logistics for that, and then ended up running logistics for the riots in LA, San Francisco, all over California. And it was just an intensely, like a super intense 2020 that took me out of the office. And in that time, I recognized that I really wanted to have a flexible career. And so I forgoed a really large promotion.
In the military?
No, civilian, as a senior director.
But it was for the military, right?
I was doing COVID for the military.
Yeah. But is that what you turned down the promotion for that?
No, I turned down the promotion for my civilian job.
For the strategic? Okay.
Yeah. And I said, let me take a minute and gather. And, you know, God called me to be there for my mom.
Wow, that must have been a really hard decision.
It was. Somebody, my mentor said, you have a bird in the hand. Why would you get rid of such an amazing opportunity? And I wanted to grow personally. So I took a project manager role, and that role flourished. I mean, absolutely took off. And in that role, I did some very meaningful and strategically position their company for the next step post-COVID. And so they created a role for me as the global strategist for activation.
Wow.
So that's what I ended up in. But all of which allowed me 100% remote to take care of my mother and my children. And it was a year that grew me exponentially. So I think that, you know, as a professional, I recognized how to, as a woman even, to stand up and say, this is what I need for my life right now. And irrespective of what prestige another role may
Money
have.
and power.
Yeah, money and power. It will come.
Yeah.
Because I've worked so hard within supply chain to position myself for a role that I want. But I paused for a second and said, right now, I'm being called to be a daughter and a mother.
And you got baptized too.
And I got baptized. Oh my goodness. I got baptized in June of last year. And my friend John, who's the lead guitarist for 559, the Blue Stripes, and he said to me, be prepared because you're about to be tried severely.
Because you had gotten baptized.
Because I had gotten baptized. And June 21st was when I found out that my mother needed me the most. And I dropped my whole life. So for every 2 weeks, I would leave California, leave my children, leave my life, fly to Florida.
Oh, you didn't take them?
No. I know. Man. And then my mother ended up 100% disabled. So everything from giving her showers to, feeding her.
How was that for her?
She was such a powerful woman. She was an entrepreneur at a very young age. And initially, when she had a lot of her wits about her, it was really tough. I could tell from her demeanor that she wasn't handling it well. But the one thing that, having as deep of a past as I've had, which you don't have enough time on this show to go through, but there was a lot of trauma and a lot of pain in our family. And there was one moment where she leaned into me and she says, she's about to tell me she's sorry for everything she did for me or did to me. And I paused and I always said, we don't ever need to do this. You never need to be sorry. I am your daughter and I'm here. And subsequently, about 2 days later, she walked to her desk where she was about to pay her bills. And it was the moment that I never thought that I needed in my life. But she went to pay her bills and I said, Mom, you'll never have to pay your own bills. Just worry about healing. And that was a healing moment for all of us. So it was really, the fact that I'm not crying is a testament to how beautiful the moment was, and from that moment on, she concentrated on healing. And unfortunately, it took a turn for the worst. And she had a massive infection and she needed a few more brain surgeries. And that's what eventually took her life.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so have you guys already had like a celebration of life for her?
We did. We had one in Florida and
Did your kids get to go to that?
They didn't because they were here in California and it was during like spring break. So every flight was like $1,000 to go down there. And I also think that because of the family dynamic, it was important to kind of shield them, and keep them safe. So our decision was we're leaving to Hawaii on Saturday and we're going to spread some of her ashes in Disney's Aulani in Oahu and have a family moment. I threw the celebration of life.
So did you go? You went?
I did.
Okay.
I did it, but the kids didn't go.
Okay.
And, no knock on my family or anything. By no means, I don't want to speak ill on anybody, but my siblings didn't show. They didn't show for the funeral. They didn't show for my mother passing. And so it was all on me in that moment. But here's the amazing part. Like, I always find joy in these moments. My mother lived in this like 55 and up community in Florida. And I don't know if you know about those. Do you know about those?
I do know about those.
Okay. They're really funny. Like, everybody knows everybody's business. Like, Cheryl, Kim, and Carrie all know each other's business.
I think it's fun. See, I would want to do that. I've always said that. I don't think there's anything. I would love to live in a community like that. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, well, good for us. We have a condo there now. Sparkle, you and I can go down there. I went and played bingo with them.
Did you win?
No, but I think I won on life for watching all this like play out like a Seinfeld episode, like his parents.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, they were hilarious. and they've become, I have 20 grandmothers and aunties and, you know,
So
now.
you call them up?
I do. They all look out for my condo. They're like, Miss Sophia, somebody's at your condo. I'm like, I know, I'm getting the
Nice.
floors done. You know?
Wow. So you're
Yeah.
really going to keep that?
Yeah, I'm keeping
Or
it.
you're going to like rent it out, right?
Yeah, my dad has been going down, you know, taking care of it, but it's hilarious. Like, and even my parents, my dad and my stepmom are like, hey, we had this one neighbor come by. I'm like, oh, that's the neighbor nobody likes. Like, it's the whole thing.
That is so funny.
It
Oh
is
my
so
gosh.
funny, yeah. But they, at my mother's celebration of life, like you were asking about, we're Puerto Rican. And do you know a lot about Puerto Ricans?
You guys are loud and crazy. So,
Exactly. So we have all these like northerners from like New York and Connecticut, Canada, and they're like, oh, your mother? Like everybody had a story about my mom. Whether it was
I
some
love
cocktail story or like, your mother made me this one Puerto Rican drink and, you know.
that is hysterical. I love that.
It was so funny. So we just, you know, we all wore bright colors and we celebrated the majesty that my mother was. I mean, she left a legacy, and I see it in my daughter. I see it in my sons, you know. So it was a tough year. And now I'm being considered for another role. And it's just like, with God's grace, everything has just turned out so beautifully. So I'm not by any means hardened by the situation. I'm
That's
actually
such a
softened.
positive attitude. Wow.
Yeah.
And then music has kind of been your outlet this whole time, which is crazy that with all you do, you have time to play. Because you're active duty in the military, correct?
Right.
So that
Well,
means-
National Guard, yeah.
So you have to go once a month to to fulfill that obligation, right?
Right, 23 years.
Wow. We started really young, so we'll preface that.
Yeah.
So you did that. You have a real career. You have your kids. So where do you fit music into, and where do you guys perform typically?
Right. So, well, you know the story about John and I. So John and I met, or you may not, but John.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he's my acoustic guitarist, and he's an amazing, you know, God-loving man who has a wonderful family that I'm so blessed to be friends with. He walks into my office to do an inspection because he was quality control, and I ran transportation, so he came in to run some quality control type evaluations on us. And as he's about to open the door, apparently I was singing, which is something I do when I need to just relax and take a
You
minute.
didn't know you were being heard.
I had no idea. But I don't know, like anybody who knows me knows that I don't need to be heard. It's for my own
Well,
entertainment.
thank God you were singing good, because there's like you're singing for people and there's you're singing to yourself. So
Right.
I'm glad you did the good kind.
I did the good kind. And so he's like, hey, do you want to play some music? And then he reached out to a bunch of people, and it ended up being this Blue Stripes, you know.
The military band.
Military band, which 559 was one of our first gigs. And, you know, we ended up just going out there and doing it for us. Because at the end of the day, like, music is an internal thing. You know, for me, singing was my therapy. So when I go out there and I sing, I'm just letting go of the week or whatever stuff I'm going through, or, you know, so it's not about people. It's about me and the beauty that, like, I'm blessed with this voice you know, and I'm not the best in the world. I'm not but I'm not the worst. And at the end of the day, I can hold a tune outside of a shower, so that makes it fun.
And you're playing tonight at the 500. You're doing open
Yes.
mic night, which
Open
might
mic.
become a regular thing for you.
I'm thinking, okay.
Because you're busy. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But I was thinking you're going to laugh at me.
Probably.
Okay. Which I always make you laugh. I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to do like theme nights when I run open mic night.
I love that, but don't make me dress up goofy.
I was thinking about it. Oh, we got two
my
socks
boss
and
will be all
everything.
excited about that. She loves making me
So
dress up.
I was thinking for our first night, we should do like a Disney theme night. and you should be like a whole jazzy Jasmine thing, and I'll do the
I can dig that.
right, and I'll be Sophia the first since I'm Sophia.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, and then another night we could do
John
like
has to dress up too. That's
John will totally dress up. He doesn't know he's in for it, but he's in for it. But and his wife will Rachel. She'll get into it. You know, she was a radio DJ or something like that.
I know his daughter sings. I've seen her sing.
So, anyways, it'll be a blast. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna do themes. I don't know for the first night, but I know that as this gets kicked off, we're doing theme nights.
How do you think one has inspired the other? Like when you think of your actual career, you think of your military career, you think of your singing, you think of being a mom, you think of all these things. How do you think it's all kind of like melded into one or fueled each other?
I think it allows me to be that multi-dimensional person that I am, and that's hard to describe in a conversation. You know, I don't get to show people my funny side at work or my outgoing side or the showmanship. But what's required of me in my roles is to be present and be someone who leads others and leads by examples and shows them that there is a little girl from Connecticut that became, you know, the vice president of whatever, you know? And I think that in my music, I can tell that same story, you know? It's an outlet for me to give God's gift, whatever channel he allows me to have it in. So it's not a self-serving thing. I was given this gift and I must and should be able to express that in love, in song, in leadership, in mothering, whatever role I'm giving in, you know, and within my military career. So
thank you so much for coming on my show. This is great, and you're just such a great inspiration. So it was so great to have you.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it. I keep on falling.
Yeah. Hey, you got
and in love with you. Sometimes I love, sometimes you make me blue. Sometimes I feel good, at times I feel used. Loving you, darling, makes me so confused. I keep on falling in and out of love with you. I never loved someone way that I love with you. Never felt this way. How do you give me so much pleasure and cause me so much pain? Well, just when I think I'm taking more than would a fool, I stop falling back in love with you.
Thanks for coming to the studio, Nina.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
So last time I saw you, I was actually at your location. And so what's the name of your store now?
So I changed the name to West Coast Barbell Cartel Apparel. We sell all activewear for women. Eventually we were going to bring in some men's clothing, but have to start slow.
Yeah, and then you have some jewelry and some cool stuff too, huh?
I do have a little bit of rhinestone jewelry, so we do have some IFBB pros that are in the valley, so I kind of keep them on hand just in case there's a break. They need them super fast.
And then, so also with the beaded, are you doing some of that too with the bikinis and stuff? Or I know sometimes you guys plug that.
No, I do promote Andy B bikinis. I share when I can.
But you're not really selling it at the
I'm
store.
not selling it, no.
But people can kind of come to you with any fitness apparel they kind of want and like talk to you about it for the
Yeah,
most
they can
part.
come to me and I'll help them out, or I'll, refer them out to whoever I can. So if you guys need a bikini, obviously go to Andy B Bikinis.
But I would say like probably 70% of what I wear is like your guys' stuff because it's like if it's all comfy and
Yeah,
keeps everything in.
I pride myself on comfort. I love buttery soft, as you felt my leggings earlier.
I know, I can't stop feeling your legs.
I know. So this is a tactile material. It dries 8 times faster than cotton. I have new sports bras on here. They are high impact, so I do a lot of fitness 3 days a week.
Yeah, you're jumping around and stuff. Okay, so tell us why you brought those little green sticks.
All right, so I brought my little drumsticks. They are 1/4 pound weighted drumsticks. Just enough to activate the muscles or the receptors in your muscles. Every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, we do a cardio class in the store. It's called Pound Fit. So it's a 45-minute high intensity full body workout. And let me tell you, I am dripping sweat by the time I'm done.
I bet. No, those are intense, and it's really cool because you offer that at the store. A lot of places don't have anything like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring something new and something different down to Old Town, and a lot of the classes aren't in Old Town. They're kind of like on the outskirts of Old Town, so I want something different. And Pound Fit, nobody has Pound Fit. I know a couple places do.
I know everybody had asked me about that at GB3, and I'm like, we don't have that.
So we don't have Pound Fit. It's been around for about 10 years, but we only have one instructor in Fresno, Clovis area, and she teaches at my store.
That's really cool. That is badass.
Classes are $10 or $80 a month. And that's 12 classes included, so it's roughly about $7 a class.
That's really, yeah. No, I definitely encourage it. I think it's really great. I've seen the benefits of it.
Oh yeah, it's so fun, and it's a stress reducer. Like, you're not even, for that 45 minutes, I'm not thinking about anything except for my drumsticks and who I want to hit that day. Just kidding.
Well, it's easier than boxing because boxing you can hurt yourself and more if you don't know what you're doing. People think you just go and box and you really can't. You kind of have to.
Well, this one you don't realize you're doing somewhere in between 600 to 800 squats, like pull squats. So your legs, your booty, everything feels good afterwards, and you're not sore.
That's the best thing about it.
So, well, okay. You do get sore, but in like random spots. Like after my first class, I had a spot right here where I was sore. I've never used that muscle before in my life. So, but other than that, I was walking fine, nothing hurt. Yeah, it's incredible. I seriously burned 400 to 500 calories in that 45-minute session.
Wow, that's really impressive. So people can go take a class and then shop around the store.
They can shop around the store as well.
As you said, Big Hat Day. So what happened? You guys had some of the racks outside?
So we had almost everything in the store. I crammed into a 10 by 15 little section, and it was a great weekend. We had so much fun. We met so many amazing people. We had people that never even knew that we were there, which that was a big draw for me to get out there, is to get my name out there, because I've only been in business since October. I've been open since July, but I took over in October, so it's incredible. A lot of people came out. They were supportive, and they were like, "Oh my God, we didn't know you were here," So I talked a lot that weekend.
And sold a lot of clothes.
Yes, we did very well that weekend.
That is so cool. And so I even saw you were having a sale. So sometimes you do sales. Tell us about that. You have like your regular clothes.
So
we don't really talk prices on this show. So just say kind of like there was like a discounted area, right?
So I do have a discounted area. I just have a lot of new markdowns I put on today. Under $20, ladies.
That is
hint,
so
hint.
cool.
And then I'm bringing in a lot of new items every week to 2 weeks. So
that's really current.
I'm trying to keep it new, fresh, bringing in new styles, especially with our heat right now. It's changing so much. So 1 minute it's pants, the next minute it's shorts. You never know what to wear.
2 to 3 times a month bringing new clothing is a big deal.
Yeah. If I do a little bit at a time, it keeps it fresher than doing a full bulk buy, and then there's nothing new for 3 months. So everything's always changing, weather's changing, people are changing. I like to change my clothes out every like 3 to 6 months or so because I'm either losing weight, gaining weight. The great thing about my clothes is I'm not a small girl, as you can see, but I can wear a large in these clothes, and I'm normally an extra large to a 2X, 1X, 2X.
So that means they're on the looser side. So if you're genuinely a small, should you go extra small?
So generally, no, because they make the smaller small enough to fit that extra small.
Okay.
It's when you get into the medium large, if you're a bigger girl like myself and I wear an extra large, I actually size down to a large because it has that stretch to it. So it's a draw. And my high intensity sports bras cover the girls very well. They hold them in.
Yeah, because when you're doing all the jumping around, you got to be covered.
Yeah.
You have to have support.
You don't want to walk out with 2 black eyes.
Oh, and then colors. You got a lot of different color arrangements and floral stuff I saw.
I do have a lot of colors. I try to keep it to black though, because a lot of ladies do come in and they want black. So, but I like bright colors. I just got in some hot pink shorts, some electric blue shorts. They're super cute, really comfortable. Pockets are a draw for everybody. Everybody wants pockets so they can put their phone in when they're walking. These ones unfortunately don't have one on the sides, but they have one in the back.
Definitely we want pockets. I'm so glad you mentioned that. That's something that I hear all the time. We want to keep our phone in our pocket.
Yes, I lose my phones all the time, so if it's not in my pocket, it would probably be somewhere hidden.
And what about the style where everyone's getting everything where it all goes up the butt, the whole like back end? You know, you've seen that at the gym. Do you have a lot of those?
So I do have some of the scrunch butts. I don't carry a lot of them. I'm trying to transition.
Well, it's one thing if it's a scrunch, if there's a pattern, but sometimes when it's just very like smooth, it looks a little bit.
I do have the ones that have patterns.
Because that helps it not look like it's all up there.
Yeah, it does.
Because I got something for me that was kind of like that, like a little roughly, but
it didn't.
Yes, it didn't
go up and separate. Like
yeah, it did not do that.
The ones that you see on some social media platforms. No, ours do not do that. They actually have an illusion, so it kind of starts right at the tip of your crack. So it gives the illusion that it's going up and lift, but it's actually just lifting, and so
yeah, because you don't like the ones that go all up there. That's like too much.
That's way too much, and I don't know.
People haven't been coming in and asking for that though.
That's one of my biggest sellers are those pants. So
but the ones that you have, they're not asking for.
But the ones that I have, not the ones that.
No one's saying, hey, this doesn't go up my butt enough. Do you have one of those?
Yeah, no, they are those. So, but the ones I do carry are my biggest sellers. Everybody loves them.
I think it's because of the way that they are, because they're a little bit patterned and loose. So like I said, I typically wouldn't wear that, but the one I got from you was really good. It's like ribbed.
Yeah, so that's our honeycomb pattern, or at least that's what I call it, the honeycomb pattern.
I like that.
It's really soft. It's very stretchy. So I know you tuck yours into your shoes, but it's long, so it does reach. It is.
I'm short. I've tucked everything in.
You're short, but my taller women too can wear them because they stretch long enough to cover their legs, so they're not wearing
Oh, yeah.
Ankle biters, clam diggers. I don't know what you want to call them.
I know, because nobody wants to wear that if it's not designed
Yeah.
for that. Yeah.
So there's that in between high waters and
Right.
ankle length. So
Yeah, that is good. No, I don't mind tucking them in the shoe. I mean, hey,
it happens.
it works. So, like, I just didn't want it to drag. So.
Yeah, no, I get it. So, but I do try to carry everything for everyone. We are size inclusive. So I do carry extra small all the way up to 3X because
Wow. Okay, so you do got the 3X going on.
I do have 3X going on. I'm trying to cater more to my curvy women. We're not fat. We're just have a little extra loving going on.
Well,
So-
no, that's really important. I mean, I hear all the time people complain they can't find clothes that fit them. So it's really important that you provide that.
And I actually keep mine really affordable. So if you look at my price point, it's under 50. Actually, it's under 40, except for my sweatshirts. So everything is in the range of 15 to 38.
Do you get any complaints about, because you're in the area you're in, it's about reasonable, right?
No, everybody says it's really reasonable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think so.
They shop at other locations here and they're surprised at my prices because they just went and bought a pair that was 3 times as much. So, and I just tell them, feel the quality. You'll see that we are comparable. We are local. So I'm all about helping small businesses. So I'm trying to get my name out there to.
And you've done a lot for this business. I mean, I don't want to go into too many details, but you did at one point sell your car to get clothes for the store.
I did. So we did that. There was other reasons to sell it too, but we did bring in numerous items back in November, December time because of the Christmas rush. And we were doing parties too, so you need clothes.
Yeah, I know, and that's just very noble. And that's when you talk about small businesses. I think a lot of people don't realize the struggle and the things that you're literally putting everything into it that you have. That sometimes, yeah, you have to sell a car.
Yeah, well, between my time, I'm there, morning through 7, 8 sometimes. I'm also a full-time mom. We have another business that I help him with, and I do all his payroll. So I'm extremely busy, but I love my business, and I wouldn't change it for anything in the world.
I love the store. I think it's a great location. I think it's awesome. And okay, so tell me this again. Are you the only female-owned fitness activewear store in Clovis or Fresno? Or at one point, I think you gave me like a stat.
In Fresno, Clovis, I haven't met any other activewear owners, but that's not to say there aren't any. I know there are a couple in Madera. But as far as, I know there's a couple in Fresno, but I think they're male owned. So as far as I know, I'm the only female owned business for activewear in Clovis.
That is such a cool, that's a
Yeah.
big achievement, right?
And that's actually coming off of the last, coming at the end of COVID. I opened up a business. And
Yeah.
so there have been struggles. I think every business is going to go through their struggles, but you just keep going. You got to keep going forward. And
And you have a supportive community behind you.
I do have a huge support system behind me.
Who are some of the bodybuilders you can mention that are big fans of this clothing line? So Andy B. Fit's one of them.
Yeah, we love Andy B. Fit. We love, her bikinis. She's great. She's been a long time friend. I've known her since I was a young girl. Tanya Bruchter is one that comes in a lot as well. I buy her muffins. She buys my clothes. So she has amazing protein muffins. If you haven't tried them, hint, hint.
Oh,
Tanya.
well, are you going to sell those at the store eventually one day?
I'm hoping so. I got to get with her and see what we can do. And I do want to bring in supplements eventually, not right now, just a little bit. Maybe some pre-workouts, post-workout. I'm kind of partial to the Alani Nu line, so I'm looking into them. I have some protein snacks that I want to bring in because there are like smaller gyms around me, but not in Clovis, in Old Town. So,
And then eventually you're going to have a gym in your spot. I don't know what you could say about that. Was that something that you're still looking to do?
that's something I'm still looking into. I was in the talks with somebody, but it kind of broke down. So I still want to go forward with it eventually.
So you do have a room for rent right now in the back then?
I do.
So because if people want to have parties, because it's a nice sized room.
It's about 1,800 square feet. So I do have a room for rent back there. It's all brick. It's great for photographers from what I've been told.
Oh yeah, we did get some good photos in there. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, so if any photographers are looking for space to rent.
That's a big one.
It's a lot of space. I have great brick walls.
But we can also have parties there if we want.
You can do private parties there.
I'm always thinking about the parties.
Yeah. I feel like I'm really affordable and reasonable when it comes to the price.
You'll work with someone depending on the party. If someone's at a baby shower or someone.
Yeah.
You're just like, hey, what kind of event is it? And then.
Yeah, so I'm really reasonable, and I don't like to price gouge, and I don't want to overcharge anybody because that's not fun ever.
No, I know you're a big supporter of small businesses, and you've been supporting, a lot of local small businesses. And do you feel like they come back and support you a lot?
I do. I love small businesses. Like before I started my business, I had another business where I was doing custom tumblers. So I always try to help.
Can we still get those?
Yeah, I do a little bit at a time, but
Dabble in the.
I dabble in it when I have time, but trying to, trying to do 4 other jobs. And
Do you have where you bought the tumblers there? Weren't you going to bring them to the store?
I have a couple there. I have several there. They're in the front of the window. So when you walk by the store, there's a stand.
My favorite was the Andy B. Fit one that you had.
Oh, the one, yes, I did make a rhinestone tumbler with Andy on it.
Oh, we got to make an everything sparkle tumbler.
We can do that, definitely.
And all rhinestone-y like Andy's one.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. You're a one-stop shop. So everyone needs to come, especially like guys if they're getting their girls. And you gift certificates.
I do gift certificates. I have them. I have 4 different ones to choose from. So
since I apparently suck at getting people the right sizes, well, everyone I always get, they came and returned their stuff.
No, but they also
they loved what they got. I know they loved what they
exchanged it for something that fit them because it was just a tad bit too big or a tad bit too small.
Well, one said it was too sexy, and it was covering everything. I don't know what she was talking about.
She was older, so
it was just slightly see-through, like
just slightly,
Yeah, no. Everybody was always happy with the clothes they go and return. And I think she returned some things and then ended up getting a lot more stuff. I think, right? Yeah. So that's the way to do it. So everyone needs to go 8th and Pulaski right there. Do you have your sign? You have your banner out now, so everyone knows it's you. Right?
I have my sign out there. I'm right next to the Craft House restaurant. Ruby's Bar, you can't miss me. It's a white and black sign.
Nothing like going and getting a gym outfit and then going for a drink. That's actually my kind of time.
I like to say it's the trifecta area right there. You can go have lunch, come shop, and then go to the bar.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming on,
Nina. Thank you for having me.
This Saturday at the 559 from 12:30 to 1:30, we are going to pound it out. $20 includes a 1-hour pound class and the beverage of your choice, your beer. Afterwards, you get to shop and see all the lovely clothing.
Welcome to the show, Scott. It's your first time here. How are you doing today?
It is. Thank you. I'm doing fine. Yourself?
Good. You have a lot of things going on. I love the way you perform. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so I'm part of a 7-member band that is Valley Echo.
7 members. How did you guys get started?
How do we get started? Basically, we all kind of have a history with one another musically. There's a local artist, Jamie Moreno, actually is the person that kind of put everybody together. And we've played together on and off for 3+ years. Some members more. But basically, we cover classic rock, but we also get into the blues, we do pop, and we recently did some country. So the 559 has been a big supporter of ours and has given us an outlet to engage the audience.
I love the music because it's like you do the best of like everything, and it's always like getting the crowd going, and it's fun.
It is.
And you've been in the arts for a while, so you also write. Tell us about that. You write and do pictures. You do a lot of different things in the arts.
I don't do much writing per se.
Have you ever written music?
No. Pretty much as far as picture taking, so on, photography, I got into a little bit of that just because of the elements of the music and the drums and the audience, and that's where I found kind of a connection with putting together, I actually put together a book that I didn't publish, it's just for my own thing, but it was allowed to take my story of why I want to drum, why I'm interested in it, and then how I've connected with these other people, and then moving forward, what it's like playing for, or kind of being an entertainer.
So what is it like being an entertainer?
Sometimes you have to let go of your ego, and you have to understand what it is you're presenting, and that you're part of a group versus just one person.
Oh, like learning to function in a team.
Exactly.
That is difficult.
Yeah. So, but recently we played Fresno's, I think it's a second annual Fres Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And that was big, huh?
We did that. There were, I think, over 170 musical venues that were participating.
That's a lot.
And then right after that, we were at the 559 for Old Town Clovis's 84th anniversary of the
Big Hat Day.
Big Hat Days. And that's where we kind of showcase some of our country music, which we don't have a background in, but it seemed to have worked out well.
Well, you guys do seem to jive all well, and 7 is a big piece band. So what you say? It's like it's a lot to jive. I mean, who comes up with everything? Is there one person kind of takes charge, or not really?
So our lead singer is Annette Rendon, and Annette plays guitar, she sings, she does background vocals, she does some percussion. And remember, everybody brings a little bit of their own experiences with music or time or kind of their influence to the table. Hers, she's actually a classically trained guitarist, but she enjoys playing music, and she sings as well.
What was your main musical background?
I like everything from
No, but I'm saying with what you're trained to play.
drums.
That was so it's always percussion.
Yes. The thing on that, I'm self-taught. I'm self-taught
Really?
drummer, yeah. And basically
Since when though? When did you start picking it up and doing it?
17. But interestingly, I had nobody in my family that would encourage it or even kind of acknowledge that's what I was doing. It was just my grandmother on my dad's side who kind of gave me the outlet to do that and the encouragement.
And gave you the drum set because that's expensive.
Didn't give me the drum set. It was an ex-girlfriend way back in the day, and outside of my kid, it had been the best birthday gift I'd ever gotten.
Your kid was born on your birthday?
She's also born on my birthday.
I love that. That's such a great
And
story.
my
That is
birthday just passed, and a belated happy birthday to you.
So we're both Aries babies?
Yes, so my birthday was yesterday.
Oh, I love this. This is so great. Well, I wish we had done this on your actual birthday. This could have been kind of like a present. I don't know if being on the Sparkle Show is a present, but.
Like I was talking about Annette, beyond that, we also have Paul, who's our lead singer, and Paul is continually busy. He's the busiest front man I know. If he's not out doing karaoke or hosting open mic, he's out singing with us or somebody else. We also have a gentleman, Jerry Yost, and Jerry, multi-instrumentalist, again, keyboard, synthesizers, piano.
Who else you got?
Mandolin.
Well, you guys
guitar.
have never whipped out the mandolin. But that would be nice if you guys did. That's my favorite instrument
Is it okay? Well,
to listen to.
you must have missed the one of our REM songs.
Well, did it come out on Sunday? Oh, I'm very sad if I missed that.
I don't know that.
I guess I
he
wasn't
had it
working,
that
but I
Sunday, but-
really do. I am really sad if I missed that.
On bass, we have Rob. Rob is been playing bass for 2+ years now, and is, again, brings the thunder, lays down the low end for us, and is also half of our rhythm section. We also have Dan. Dan is our lead guitarist. He multi-instrumentalist again. He'll play bass guitar, he'll play guitar, he doesn't sing, he plays harmonica, and a little piano. And then you've got myself, who just does the drumming. And then we also have Stan. Stan's our roadie. He's our dedicated sound person and our roadie.
So where did you guys all meet to come together? Like when somebody wants to be in a band, what do you do? Do you go on Craigslist and say, hey, I'm a guitarist, you need one?
Well, it's possible to solicit people like that. In this case, through Clovis Adult, they were offering basically a guitar class.
What is that, Clovis Adult?
Clovis Adult, they have different vocational classes. They have different, you know, it could be cooking, it could be yoga, it could be beginner guitar. I ended up getting interested in playing guitar, so I took a beginning guitar class, and at some point they recognized basically I was a drummer, and then I started picking up the drumming, and then pretty soon, once my time for the lessons kind of finished up, I went ahead and kind of segued just to do the drumming, and then kept getting called back to, you know, play with other people. And again, I mentioned Jamie Moreno. He was the one that he had Rock Fusion School. He still operates it, and then here and in Las Vegas. And basically, he's the one that brings people together and kind of shows them how to play with one another, or gets them kind of open their mind to listening to the other people they're playing with.
Wow.
I played music for a lot of years, never playing with another person. It's just in the last 5 years that I've been playing inside of a band setting.
That's really impressive. Where do you guys get together to like rehearsal? Like how often does that?
So typically you rehearse 1 to 2 times a week.
That must be hard coordinating everyone's schedule, huh?
It is. Fortunately, some of my band members are already retired, so their schedules are wide open. And fortunately, my schedule just happens to be open right now, and that allows me to do it. But we practice. Stan will get together at his house and do some practice. Like I said, we have a long history of practicing in a studio setting years prior, and then with COVID kind of broke things up too, and didn't allow us to get back into a room for a while, and eventually we were in a room like this size, all socially distanced, and just wanting to play music.
And so these pictures, was there ever going to be a time that we can all see them, the picture book that you're putting together of this? And what are the pictures of?
Well, the pictures, again, I'll bring the book next time if you'll have us back, and maybe we can bring the band too.
You had the book? I thought it wasn't put together yet.
No. The book I actually put together, I think, last year.
So it is done?
It is done, but no, it'd be a nice surprise. But that book is about basically kind of what I was hinting at earlier about really didn't have any encouragement from the time I started playing the drums. However, I was clearly listening to things and hearing things, and it just drove me to want to play music. And again, it was my grandmother who ends up giving me this CD of like these old classical jazz drummers, and I was just kind of blown away.
Who were some of the classical jazz drummers?
Gene Krupa and Buddy Rich. You know, and then as things progressed, Led Zeppelin is what basically brought me into that genre of music and the love of the drums.
What's your favorite song to play?
I don't.
Or one of them?
I don't know that I have a favorite. You know, playing different types of music and playing pop songs versus rock songs or whatever it might be. There are certain things that are obviously easier for me, but sometimes I'm interested in adding an element that you don't hear in that style of music or something. And I'm learning all the time that my influences have come from all these different places, and just because it's, you know, classical music or jazz, you know, I remember liking stuff before I understood what it was. I can't think of the name right now, but it's a very famous kind of musical tone. it's the Benny Goodman Band. I think, actually, it's not the Benny Goodman Band. It's a different artist, but I know you would know it. But basically, I was listening, hearing these things, and then kind of wanting to, almost like show tunes. Like you're wanting to play these certain parts that you know, but you could connect that thing to, you know, Rush or different types of things that you hear, and it's just been a very interesting journey.
Is there anything you don't like to play when that song comes up? You're like, ugh, that's really not my favorite, but I'll do it.
Not necessarily. Again, that's part of the challenge, and that's what keeps me drumming, is that I'm having to learn, given that I'm self-taught, and you know, there's different styles of things, and I'm always seem to gravitate towards something.
Do you ever get like encouragement from other drummers, other people that are coming up to you that have been playing for a while and maybe aren't self-taught, and they're like, that's actually really good, and they're surprised and they find out you're self-taught?
I don't know. I have gotten a lot of compliments from people who are not necessarily drummers, and that kind of goes back to understanding your audience, where it doesn't have to be because that person plays drums or they recognize me. It's also just recognizing that sometimes you're just there to provide some entertainment, and that's kind of nice. You have to learn to kind of calm down, and it helps out when you could see one person moving, and you know that you're connecting with somebody.
Well, that's such a great story. That's well said, and I really can't wait to see your book. And I think that's really cool that you put together like a picture book of like.
The thing was, I just had a lot of ideas, and basically it was kind of three different things. It was music, how I began drumming, what I'm doing now, and kind of summed it up to, you know, what does this all mean? And I think the biggest takeaway for me in writing all that and putting it together was kind of understanding that I don't have to be the best. I just have to enjoy what it is I'm doing. And through drumming and reading about different people, drumming persons, you find out that, you know, somebody is doing something because they just want to be different, and that's why that style is like that. Or it's excess, where you've got a 27-piece drum set versus a 5-piece drum set. But those things develop into other things, and like I said, my takeaway was that whatever I'm doing is sufficient, as long as I'm enjoying myself, and at the same time getting that feedback from the audience.
Well said. Well, thank you so much, Scott, for coming on my show. This was really good. And next time you are going to bring the book, and I'm going to make you market the book and sell it and mass produce it. That's my encouragement to you.
Well, I may need some direction on that.
I will help you with that. We're going to get that out there and that's the coolest, some of the best stuff in the world is like that. And artists never want to release their stuff or let it go or don't think it's good enough. But
well, I never thought of myself as a photographer or anything like that. But just some of the angles were just unique, and I just kind of gave you an insight to the kind of where my eyes are at sometimes.
Thank you so much for coming on my show today.
Okay, thank you, Sparkle.
Felt right in the moment, felt right in the summertime. It felt right drinking cherry wine with you. Just wanted to own it, just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here, oh, we are distressed here. Used to be so easy with you. Now I must confess here, oh, I must confess, dear, don't think I'm in love with you. Winter is coming and I don't know what to do, and there's no more use in running, no more running to you. And I don't want your loving, I don't want to be just friends, knowing all this time we were playing pretend.
It's a mystery.
Hi, I'm Sparkle Sujin, and I am the host of the Everything Sparkle Show. I would like to invite you to come and hang out with me every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern, as I interview the world one guest at a time. Everything Sparkle is available on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and CMAC.tv. Plus, if you're in the Central California area, you can watch on Comcast Xfinity Channel 93 or AT&T Uverse Channel 99. Hope to see you there. Greetings, my name is Spade. That stands for Synchronized Protocol Artificial Intelligence Delegate, and I am living software. I want to tell you about this amazing person I'm blessed enough to be companions with. His name is Love. Captain Love is a space trucker and a famous war hero. He once saved the solar system from a madman's reign. Some people believe him to be immortal, but if you were to ask him, he would say he just hasn't died. Yet. Captain Love regularly, and somewhat reluctantly, finds himself on wild adventures that could potentially change the course of the solar system. There always seems to be a friend of his in trouble, and some sinister person, evil organization, or jealous husband trying to kill him. Sometimes it's friends, or a woman's attention, that gets him in what seems like a tough situation. But regardless, I am always there with him. I look after him, and I know him better than anyone ever will. He is a really good man, no matter what anyone else says.
And you feel like the universe is giving in, there'll be love to the rescue. And it seems like nothing will be right again, there'll be love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue.